Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron channel, and I'm your host, Djingis, and I'm here with the DBA Minors draft recap for my team at least. I will not do for every single team here, guys, don't worry. But this is my team. I am the Stockholm Slakings here, if you didn't notice on the intro. But I am here again with the new draft, and this league is the minor league to the DBA, which my good buddy TJ started, and a lot of the PSL coaches are already in the DBA. I decided not to join it because I didn't have time at the time. I didn't have time when it started to join up, but I have time now to join the minors. So I decided to join the minors and have a shot at participating in next season's DBA. Hopefully I can manage to do that. The draft had 24 people drafting, and I got spot number 21 in the first round, and I just decided from there on that, okay, I'm just going to grab the leftovers from round 1. The team that I wanted from the get-go was snag the best tier 1 that I could as fast as possible, and then build a core around that. And the first team I had a combination between the Necrozma, what was it more? We had Necrozma, yeah, it was Necrozma as a tier 2. And had some other kind of interesting stuff that worked well with the Necrozma, and then I build around getting a leftover tier 1 and an okay mega. I think the mega I wanted was Mega Sharpedo, Mega Sharpedo was the mega I really wanted first. So Mega Sharpedo core together with, Mega Sharpedo and Necrozma core was the core that I really wanted to start off with, but I decided not to in the end, mostly because of what was free for me in spot number 21. There was 2 Pokemon that I never thought would go this far, that I was actually able to snake up in round 2 and round 1. In round 2 I was spot number 4 or something like that, because it's snake draft format, so it's kind of lucky in that sense. But first round we picked up Infernape, and we have Foo Fighter, the Infernape, and I'm so happy with this. This is a tier 2 Pokemon in this league. Which I found kinda interesting, and it wasn't even like a normal tier 2. Well, it was a normal tier 2, but the tier system in this league is built with a mega, with the plus mega, normal mega, minus mega, so to speak. And then we have 1 plus, tier 1 plus, tier 1, tier 2 plus, tier 2, and so forth, all the way down to tier 5. And those monsters that are in the plus tiers, you cannot pick in free agency. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna pick up some Pokemon that should be in B1, well, in the B plus, 2 plus, they had the A, B, C, D system. I'm just gonna call it tier 2 for right now. In the tier 2 plus, that I was pretty sure will be there. And I noticed that it wasn't after I drafted it, so I was just like, shoot, I could have waited a bit longer on this one. Oh well, I'm fine. Infernape is still here. Like, Infernape gives me a great CUC right off the bat. Could be both physical and special, has a great ability in Blaze and another great ability in Iron Fist. Also having very good speed at base 108. Allows me to run a good form of Scarfers with this. I can also run Banded, Specs, and I have some other tech for it with the later draft picks that I did. But this is my firefighting type. I'm really happy with this. I've always wanted to use Infernape, I've never gotten to use it. So this will be the first time I ever use an Infernape regularly. I've actually never used it on the ladder. I've never used it in any other league, so this will be a new experience. I really look forward to use it. We all know what it does. It's just a monster, it really is. But then the turn 2, I had like 8 picks between me, and I was just like, okay, I need this tier 1. I really need this tier 1, because to get this tier 1, I can build the most amazing fight with the grass score you could think is possible at that bad spot I had in the first round. And look and behold, Manaphy stayed, and we have Elvati. Let's see if I write it correct. Elvati, the Manaphy. With hydration, of course. Manaphy, we don't know what Manaphy does. This is my Super C, so I can actually use C Rain Bands if I really want to, which makes this team so fucking good. With having this combination of mons is actually really nice, having Infernape and Elvati, Infernape and Manaphy on the same team. Gives me a lot of utility moves, gives me a lot of well-rounded moves as well. Can be both physical and special. Most of the time you'll see it specially offensive thanks to the tail glow that it gets, that makes it so hard. And Manaphy is one of the water types that I love to use and that I used really well in 6th. I really hope that I can use it well in Draft League format, because if I can, this combo between Infernape and Manaphy will be very hard to do. Now, the problem here was, now I wanted a Firewater Grass Core, of course, you can see where this is going, and there were 40 picks before it was my turn. Now it's looking, okay, there's one Mega that I want, but that Mega will get sniped from me, like 100%. The Mega I want will get sniped. What other grass types are there? Well, Tangrowth, oh wait, Tangrowth got sniped. Okay, but the Mega is still there. And other grass types, Superior, oh wait, they went Superior. Okay, but the Mega is still there. And then just continue that loop. And then it was my turn 30 picks later. And Mega Venusaur, also known as Linkin Park, was still here. I have no clue how I managed to get Infernape, Manaphy, and Mega Venusaur in the 24-man draft when I had number 21 spot. This is one of the most solid Firewater Grass Core that I ever drafted and I will ever draft, and it's one of the best Firewater Grass Core that you can draft period in the Draft League format. It is so good. And now I was just, okay, I got the core that I wanted. Now I don't really care about the pick, but I have I have 3 types that I really need on this team, that I really want to have on this team. And I want to have a ground type, I want to have a dark type, and I want to have a psychic type. So now that I got Mega Venusaur, I don't need to talk about it, it's bulky, we all know what it does. It's fantastic to have on this team. But now that I wanted ground type, and I wanted dark type, and I wanted a psychic type. There aren't any ground psychics, but there are some ground dark types, and I think you know who I'm talking about. This is a Mega, well not Mega, this is a Pokemon that I wanted to use since day 1 in Draft League format, and now I can finally use it. And this is one of the scariest ground types that you can face in Draft League format in my opinion. Because it hits like a truck, it's pretty fast, and it can be kinda bulky as well. And that is Crocodile. And this is Semblant, the Crocodile. Now, Crocodile is, as we all know, one of the best Scarfers in the game. Like Scarf EQ, Scarf Knockoff, whatever we want to do. It hits like a truck. So I have 3 good Scarfers. I have 2 fantastic physically offensive Pokemons. One wall in Mega Venusaur, and one that can do almost whatever it pleases in Manaphy. Crocodile for me is, thanks to the ability to Intimidate and Moxie, I can just switch around so much and build kind of interesting sets with this thing as well. I've seen Assault Vest Crocodile put in work earlier together with Intimidate, so that's a possibility. It also hits like a track, it's Stab Knockoff on base 117. The speed is a bit lackluster, like most Pokemons will outspeed it, because they are like 95 and above will outspeed it 100%, so it's not the best Scarfer. But if you are not prepared for this thing to be my Scarfer in the match, you will have a hard time, because I can have 3 Scarfers in this. I can have Crocodile, I can have Infernape, and I can have Sea Rain Dance Manaphy, which raises my speed to be a Scarfer. So it just really works well. And as I said, EQ spam is one of the best spams in the game. Now I wanted some bulk to pair up with my Mega Venusaur, and one of the biggest weaknesses to my team so far is, in my opinion at least, it's Psychic, because Foo Fighter in Linkin Park doesn't want to take Psychic. Crocodile can take Psychic, but most Psychic types does learn Dazzling Gleam. And then I remembered one Pokemon that I used earlier in ABL that was actually a bit of a staple on the team after a while when I traded it to me, and actually did very well. We're going to pick Reuniclus again. Dying Fetus, the Reuniclus is here and it's not going to be there. I'm just going to show the regenerate because that's what I will use most of the time. This takes care of the psychic weakness on my team. This takes care of the weaknesses that I can't really deal with. It's a mixed. Well, this allows me as well to have a grass type to switch into ground types, because Reuniclus will most of the time be especially defensive, which allows Mega Venusaur to be physically defensive. I mean, and that actually makes my team having a very good synergy between offense and defense, between three very, very offensively pressurized Pokemons with two very, very good defensive Pokemon that can do exactly what they pleases, really. And Reuniclus is not the bulkiest, but thanks to that enormous HP and the Assault Vest regenerative Magic Guard ability, this hits like a truck. It can take hits. It's just so annoying to deal with. My team as of right now is, sadly, I have to say, weak to two things. It's kind of weak to knockoff, unless I run. Like, I don't want to get knockoff on Sembla. Like, I don't want to get knockoff on any of my Pokemon. The only thing I really have that can take a knockoff would be my Mega Venusaur. The rest of them doesn't really want to take it because they are kind of frail or needs their item. So I decided to pick up a good knockoff knockoff in switch in, and I also have a bit of a weakness to U-turners, and I really wanted to make that feelable, like when you have to prep for this team, that you don't really just, okay, I can just slap U-turn and everything and just go around this team pretty easy. I also wanted a spinner. A spin is very, very crucial to this team, because I don't want to take a lot of rock damage. I also wanted a steel type, so I can start working on my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. And I also thought, like, I have my special bulk because Venusaur and Reuniclus can both be especially bulky, so I can go for a good physical bulk here. It gives me spin, steel type. It gives me some form of hazard as well. The only problem is that it's 4 times weak to fire. I think you know what I'm talking about, but my fire weakness isn't that big, really. Like, Infernup can take it, Manaphy can take it, Semblan, Crocodile can take it, and Reuniclus can take fire type moves. Like, there's no problems. I don't really see a big fire weakness on my team, so I actually decided to draft Fortress. And here we have Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden the Fortress. This is not my typical pickup. I'm no fan of quad weaknesses. I am no fan of Fortress at all. But it was the best Pokemon that I could draft at this moment in the draft, and that actually fit on the team. So I had no choice, really. And so far I hadn't gotten pretty snipe-free, so to say. I got most of the Pokemon that I wanted, but now, after, like, we all know what Fortress does, really. So, like, it comes in, it spins and dies. That's why I see it, at least. But now I had a bit of a problem, because I got sniped left and right all of the remaining turns. I got the only Pokemon that I got that I really, really wanted of the last 6 Pokemon was my last pick overall, which is a bit of a funky pick, not gonna lie. But it actually completes a lot of the team synergy that I had thought of, at least, in the draft. But I'm gonna go back from this. You can see them here, and I'm gonna go in here and add a new Pokemon, of course. So yeah, I decided I wanted a Dragon type, but I couldn't decide on what Dragon type to pick. So I was just going to, like, okay, I had the points to draft pretty good Dragon types. But the more I thought about it, like, I needed some more. I kind of wanted Dragon, but at the same time I didn't really need another Stealth Rock because I already got at least 2 of them, which can be pretty good. I think I have 3, and also got Spice. I didn't really want that. When I got my Mega, I've already gotten. I couldn't pick, like, Kyurem Black or Latios, and those were already gone, I'm pretty sure. And there wasn't really a lot of Dragon types that I really wanted to draft that was still available. Like, I'm just going through here. I think Zygarde might have been there. Dragonite, I think Dragonite was there. No, it wasn't. It was already picked up. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of Dragon types still lying around that was actually useful in Draft League format. But I looked at my speed tiers and I noticed that I had a bit of a. Let's go back here. My speed tiers are pretty wacky. Like I have 108, 100, then we have 80, we have 92, 30, 40. So I decided, okay, I want at least one Pokemon in the 70s, and I wanted a Dragon type that are in the 70s speed-wise, and that actually decided what Dragon type I wanted to get, and now that I drafted it, I'm just so happy that I did. Welcome, Tyrantrum, Guar, the Tyrantrum with Rockhead. This Pokemon hits like a truck, it's kinda defensive as well. Assault with Tyrantrum can actually put in a lot of work, I feel like. Because its HP defense actually symbolizes a bit more of what it is on Tangrowth, so it might actually work, and Dragon's a pretty good defensive type, Rock is a pretty good defensive type. So it is actually a decent all-around defensive type that can actually work pretty well with an Assault Vest. It gives me the Dragon type that I needed for my Fire Dragon Steel Core. It gives me a hard-hitting Pokemon. It gives me Stealth Rock as well. I'm pretty sure it gets Stealth Rocks, yeah. Like, I have a lot of Stealth Rocks on this team now, so trying to predict who will be my Stealth Rockers, I dare you. Most of the time we'll predict it right though, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I got Tyrantrum here. We all know what it does. It can Dragon Dance, of course. It has a wide move pool, it really does. But what makes this Pokemon so good is the Head Smash. Rockhead, Head Smash, and then you put Band, Life Orb, Dragon Dance, whatever you want on this thing, and this will hit like a truck. I don't think a single Pokemon can switch into a Tyrantrum playing Head Smash and take it well, because it hits so darn hard that it's just impossible to do anything. I know some sets with this thing that are pretty useful. I will not say them here, except for the Assault Vest set that I also already talked about, because I feel like that could be a pretty useful one. Using Tyrantrum a bit more defensively might add for some more viability on the team, because as of right now I think I have a bit of a more offensive team that I really wanted to. But at the same time, I kind of like to have this. I noticed that I play better with more offensive Pokemon than I play with the normal standard bulky offense. I want the bulky Pokemon, but I still want them to hit hard, and I would rather have hard-hitting Pokemon than just bulky Pokemon. So that's why I try to draft. And in my last picks, I just went like, from here on out, my draft is complete and utter trash, because I got sniped all the way to hell. So for me, this is actually like, my last 4 picks are 4 meme picks. More or less, for me they are kind of meme picks, but they work pretty well together. And they work kind of well on the team as well. My first pick was to secure that Dragon Fairy Steel Core, and my Fairy type got sniped again and again and again and again, and the only Fairy type left was Aromatisse. And this Aromatisse will be shiny, and it will be named Steel Panther. It's bulky, I guess, and I'm pretty sure it gets Wish, and thanks to its base 101 HP, I can get this thing up to 50%. I can heal you up as well to like more than 50% heal you to 50% heal you as well if I really want to. I can heal you as well, also take 50%. I can heal you, take almost 50% back with Regenerator, that's pretty awesome. Then I can heal you all the way back up. So I mean, it's not that bad to have on the team. And looking at my Firewater Grass core and my Fairy Dragon Steel core, that core is actually very, very good just to bring on its own to every single match. There's a lot of the teams. So trying for the opponent to actually think out what they will bring to each match will be a problem looking at these picks. But I decided to... Okay, I've got a lot of, in my opinion, special bulk. And I only got one really physically defensive Pokemon Fortress. Because I think I would use Tyrantrum more offensively, even if I have the defensive possibility with it. So I had to go with an Eviolite user, and I wanted a Ghost type, and there aren't really a good amount of bulky Ghost types with Eviolite. One of the few is Dusclops. And here we have Dream Evil, the shiny Dusclops. And of course it will have Frisk like everything. And thanks to that, its HP, Wish from Steel Panther will help so much to make Dream Evil just go back up to full. And the good thing here, it gets Will-O-Wisp, so I can build a very defensively minded Dusclops, and thanks to Will-O-Wisp I will hurt hard. I have Destiny Bond, like no problem there. I don't have Foul Play, which is a bit of a slack in my opinion. I think I would have been better off with the Foul Play user, but it is what it is. But I can Will-O-Wisp Hex, that does tremendous amount of damage. It has a pretty good variety of move pools as well, and thanks to its special attack and attack being kind of the same, you can actually use a lot of momentum here. And also get Memento, of course. But I get Elemental Punches, I'm pretty sure all of them. I get Rock Slide, EQ, Shadow Sneak, like Sucker Punch as well, Taunt, Toxic, Trick Room, and Trick. Like I can do a lot of things with this thing. And that's a bit of a problem for the opponent, because I can build a especially offensive one, I can build a especially defensive one, I can build physically offensive, physically defensive. And it can actually use a lot of moves, but what makes this thing so good is that Will-O-Wisp, because if I can burn my physically offensive Pokemon on the opposing team, they would have a hard time breaking through my defensive core. Like, no matter if you have special offensive mons, it would be hard to break through it, but if you have physically offensive Pokemon facing a physically offensive core, and I click Will-O-Wisp on you, you will have a hard time dealing with this team. That was the only reason I really picked Dusclops, other than it was Ghost type and I wanted a Nubulite user. It's pretty weak to knock off, I know that, but now I have a pretty good amount of switch-ins to knock off. I have my Mega Venusaur, I have Fortress, and I have Aromatisse, and I guess Crocodile can take one, but it's yeah, it is what it is. Next up, I want an electric type. Please don't snipe. Oh wait, they went Rotom. Okay. Regular Rotom though, of course. That was my electric type. I really wanted a dual Ghost, because those different things. It wasn't really that big of a problem for me. But now I was okay. What Rotoms are left? I have Rotom Frost, I have Rotom Cut, and I have Rotom Fan. Well, I don't want Rotom Fan because I have a better flying type lying around that I really want to pick up in the last turn. Rotom Frost, I don't like to have the Blizzard as my only stab opportunity. I would much rather just go with Cut than have another Ice weakness, I guess, because my team isn't that weak to Ice. In the long run, I don't feel like, at least, so I decided to actually pick up Rotom. Where are you, No? Ah. Okay, come on here. I hate this. Rotom. Mo. Thank you, and your name, Machine Head. The good thing here, like the reason I wanted Rotom was because I wanted a Levitator that's immune to EQ, because my team is kinda not the best at taking EQ. Like physically defensive Mega Venusaur can take an EQ pretty well. I guess Fortress is neutral to it, can take it pretty well. Dusclops might take it okay, I guess. Aromatisse can take one or two, but I really want that immunity. And I wanted the electric type. This is a Pokemon that most of the time you'll see. It has that base 86 speed. It gives me another speed tier as well, so I have almost one in every speed tier now. And this thing is just above that normal 85, just as Guar's just above that normal 70. And then I have 108, which is pretty common actually. 100, which is very, very common. 80, which is extreme common, and you'll never see like a speed Mega Venusaur, more or less. 92, that is just above that base 90. And then I have some slower mons, which actually work pretty well in Trick Room, which I can set up with a couple of Pokemons. And then we have this base 86. Leaf Storm is its only grass stab, except for Hidden Power Grass, of course. Which is a bit of a bummer, but it hits hard. I also get Dark Pulse, of course. I have some utility with this thing, and it also gives me Foul Play user, which I actually really wanted to the team. It gives me a screener as well. It gives me a Defogger, if I'm not 100% wrong. Yeah, it gives me Defog. And at this point, I think I only have like one Spinner and one Defogger. Yeah, I only have those two as my hazard removal. So like it's a hefty load of those on Machine Head and on Iron Maiden to actually get rid of the hazards, but my team isn't really weak to it, it doesn't really matter, and I have a lot of opportunities to set up my own and force them to give their own hazards away, which is great. But yeah, thanks to its levitate ability, Rotomo is very, very good here, and it's also resistance to electric, which I kinda needed outside of the immunity. When I don't really need it, but I wanted another electric switch in. It also gives me a volt switcher, so I have a volt turn core now. And it's just a good Pokemon overall. You can do a ton of things that you doesn't really think of at first. But it is still your standard Rotom, but with Leaf Storm instead of whatever you want to put on it. Like, it is what it is. It's not the best electric type in the game, but it fits its purpose on this team, and it gives me that offensive grass type as well, which can hit kinda hard. It gives me a grass type that is kinda speedy as well and can hit from another. That can hit from. That can hit close to him. I don't know if you get Will-O-Wisp, but yeah, you do get Will-O-Wisps. I mean, this thing can actually be very, very bulky, very good for me, and it makes it so I don't have to rely on Mega Beams for every single game. But yeah, it's still Rotomo. I don't know how much I will bring it. It's mainly here because of Levitate and Defog and the Volt Switch. Like, that's the only reason I drafted it. But here we come to my last pick, and this is the most fun pick I've ever done in a league. And this will be my low tier C user. I have an offensive C user in Infernape, I have a special offensive, I have a Super C Manaphy, and then I have my low tier C user in Unpheasant. Infernape. Okay, Unpheasant, please, thank you. Here we have Stratovarius, Unpheasant with Super Luck. Base 93 speed, just above Crocodile, with base 115 attack. Pretty decent stats, I gotta say, they are better than I thought they would be. But what makes this thing so good as a C use, in my opinion, is it has Sky Attack and it has Fly. Like, those are two very, very powerful stab flying type moves that I can fire off a Flaming Sea with, and that will hurt a lot from that attack stat. Then it has some other cool tech. It gets Defog, as you can see. Has Morning Sun, has Roost, of course. Substitute, then it has Tailwind to make my team faster. It also has Toxic, which most has, but it also has Wish, which actually can help a lot of my team out. It has Priority and Quick Attack. It has Night Slash with high critical hit ratio and Super Luck. It just said it doesn't have Sniper. It has Tailwind, as I said earlier. I don't know where I said that again. Heat Wave, like, it said that it has such good special move pool when it's a physical attacker. That's the only big problem. It has U-turn. And then you go down here, it has Feather Dance. Feather Dance isn't that bad to have on a Pheasant because it's pretty fast and it will take in some physical attackers, but mostly special attacks. So it's still not the best, but actually it works. I have Confide as well, which lowers the special attack and actually makes a Pheasant pretty useful. And I have Hypnosis. I can go Hyper Beam if I really want to Lucky Chant, if I want to get rid of crits. Like, if for me the crit draw, I can just click Lucky Chant and don't have to worry about crits at all. Get Rain Dance if I want to set that up. I also get Sunny Day if I want to set that up, and I get Steel Wings for Fairies. So I mean, this is just a utility Pokemon with work up, of course. This is just a utility Pokemon that can do a lot of things that, like, it's not that commonly seen, so it might actually throw off a lot of people if you see this thing. One of the reasons I wanted to pick this is because it has Sunny Day, and this is kind of idiotic in some ways, but thanks to having Sunny Day on Pheasant, Pheasant is a great support mon for Infernape, because now I can actually run Solar Beam Infernape with no problem versus any single team, thanks to having Sunny Day on another Pokemon than Infernape. It also gives me 75% off of Synthesis. It also gives me more out of Morning Sun, which I only think one on my team has. And it kind of fits. Why didn't you save Stratovarius? Stratovarius, yeah. So it's a pretty decent Pokemon type. Like, the only reason I wanted this thing is because I wanted a Fly C user, because it's actually one of the best sea crystals to use in Draft League format. And Amphasit isn't that common, that's why I knew that it would be never drafted and I could take it, and it has a pretty good attack stat, I knew that already. So just throwing a Flyinium C on this thing with a Sky Attack or Fly is actually pretty dope. And it helps me with a lot of things. Now, the good thing here is, if you look at my team, it's not that Fly weak. Overall, I have Fortress that can take care of flying types pretty well. I have Tyrantrum that's walls to them. I have some other things that can actually take care of them as well. But I have a bit of a fly weakness. I have a bit of bird spam weakness. But yeah, this is the team. And I really look forward to use this team. And I think that's about it. If you know what my team names are, write it in the comment section, and I will see you next time.